Hold on. Pigeon's being annoying. I gotta get her situated. Yeah. Yeah, you so silly. We are going to work more on our tarot deck today. Maybe get in a few readings. If Pigeon will let me. Don't grab your tail, buddy. Come on. Come on. Oh, okay. I also think I'm going to have some music playing back here, which is fun because even though it's royalty free, it does give us a copyright flag. Annoying. Relaxed Nintendo. Ooh, boba date, cute music. Chill, daydreaming. Let's see what this sounds like. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Alright. Alright, so what are we working on today? Oh, right. So, if we remember, we had our Chariot card that we were trying to work out. What card did we finish? Oh, that's right. We did our Lovers card, which were lovebirds. They're alright. Not my favorite. Prismatic parrots. I see. I don't know. His head's a little bit off. But that was a fun, cute idea to represent our Lovers card. Here is our lion. So I couldn't decide if I really want to do these wings up top. But I think I like the overall feel of the lion. Now the thing I was thinking of doing with the lion is like the sphinxes, you know, making it black and white. So there would be kind of like a mix of black and white, but then I don't know how well that will actually, like, translate. Let's see. Our panda bear wasn't too bad when it came to the blacks, because that's rather gray. I don't know if I want to go that same route, though. Or just make it a typical lion color. I don't know. So many choices. Let's get out our cards. Oh, there's our chariot right there. I must have been using him as a reference last time I came. So, like, I wanted to kind of go with this, like, sphinx idea. And I feel like the wings were kind of important. So he's a two-headed lion. There's a lot of noise going on outside. What's going on? Replacing the fire extinguisher. Okay. Yeah. So I guess the biggest thing, we could still do these blue wings. And then I do kind of have like some castles laid out in the background. Because I do want to kind of add that portion in there. Decisions. This is why this deck hasn't gotten very far. We're only on card number 7. But I do have an idea for my next card. For strength. And I kind of want to go towards more the fortitude thing. So my idea is like a rhinoceros. Because they're pretty gentle, you know? And a butterfly with it. A rhinoceros and a butterfly. I don't know. I don't know. I need input from someone somewhere. Make sure my microphone is correct here. It looks right. All right, so let's think about this color scheme a little. Obviously, we're going to have yellow in the background. The gray. I still feel like the blue needs to be incorporated into the wings. And then we got these little stars, too. Which we don't really have place for the stars. Let's see. I'm thinking this color. Yeah, so that would be the black if we were to go that route. Maybe I should just make up a quick little two-headed lion. And the wings up here. Okay. So maybe we focus on the mane being black and white, and like his black hairs kind of mix in with the white hairs. Okay, so I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea. Maybe then, like, this guy's body should be white on this side. And then we come in and we do, like, black on the other side. Okay. I think I like that idea. And then what were we talking about? Incorporating blue into the wings. Right? If we keep the wings. So the idea is the blue. And then of course we'll have some black outline with it. Maybe some darker black. I don't know. I don't know. Is black and white the way to go? What color is this? No. I need a lighter gray color. I do need a darker blue color. I do think I need a darker blue. That one's too green blue. I need more like blue blue. That's too dark. I don't think I have one that's gonna quite fit the scheme that I'm looking for. Ah, that one. Closer. But still not quite. Ew! Disregard that. So that's the blue that matches. All right. The yellow. What is the yellow that we keep using? That is not it. That is not it. This one looks pretty used. All right. So we'll have our yellow background. Right? We'll have our... Did we find our other gray that we wanted? We didn't. I need to go... I'm afraid this will be too dark. Yeah. Maybe this one. That one looks the same to me. No, they all look the same as far as tonally. We said no to this one? We're not gonna find a lighter one, I don't think. Because then we get into like the orange one. So this don't have like no ink in it, but like that's the color. I think this is what we use on the lovebirds. I don't think that's gonna work though. Come on. Alright, so we may have to stick to the gray, but I feel like that's gonna be too dark. But let's get an idea. This is where our castle's gonna be. Our castle has little red roofs. So that's a fine red color. Maybe have the darker river. That is too bright. I think they're about the same color as this blue, so oh, fucking hell. I'm sorry. I apologize for my cursing, but... So we're gonna have our river and then our green grass. Yeah, I think that'll be fine for the green grass. Alright. Is that very chariot? They also need a name. They also need a name. Yeah. I'm like a little concerned about like actually coloring them. They're cute. They're cute. Hi, my love. What you doing, Pidgey butt? Come here, baby. Hi, my lovely. Alright. I guess let's not just focus on cards. I enjoyed this anonymous post I got today. It says, all of your readings are negative. Seems like you purposely tell people only negative things. Not true. Not true. Look at this. Overall, this was positive, but I had to mention the negative cards. Hello. This had a negative card, but overall positive. Still mention the negative card. This, starting out negative, but we moved into something positive, right? Again, we had positive overall message, but we talked about the negative card. This was negative. That's purely negative. You can't see past that. That's negative. That's negative. Okay. That's negative. That is negative. You think this Fool upright is positive, but in the Waits Tarot, he is not. He is the Fool that he is. So, when that came to love, Hermit and love don't mix. Hermit's being by yourself. The Fool's an idiot. And then we have the Ten of Cups up in reverse. That's bad. That's a bad message when it comes to love. So, why would I turn that positive? Why would I make that a resounding positive? What am I doing? I am creating tarot cards, well, relaxing and doing readings. If you would like a reading. I was going to do a reading real quick. We are working on the Chariot card, which we've decided is going to be a two-headed lion. That's fun. And we'll show you the previous ones we've done. We've got our Fool. This is our Lover's card. This is our Hierophant. Our Emperor. Our Empress. Our High Priestess. This is our Magician. And now the Chariot. I thought it'd be fun. Yes, drawing tarot cards. Very. That's it. But it is going to take a while. So here I was just working out our color scheme. I think we've got all our colors picked out. But a little afraid to start coloring this in. So, I was gonna do a reading right quick. This is from M, who is a she, her. Hello. If you are still open, I would like to ask what my next partner, a he, him, will be like. The Empress, the Four of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Not overall bad. Like, this is somebody who is growing themselves, but sometimes they can seem a little bit emotionally distant. They're very much concerned about their work, and I think that's really what takes a lot of their time, occupies their time. That's where that emotional distance will come from. They're very concerned about building up their future, providing for their family. They're not a bad guy, but emotionally distant. It's not always easy. As long as you understand, like, where they're coming from and know that it's coming from a place of, like, responsibility. I wouldn't say this is a bad future spouse. I said, well, your future spouse may seem a little emotionally distant at times. They prioritize you and the family that you want to create together. Their focus may fall a lot on continuing to build themselves in their career, but this is done out of understanding the responsibility they have to provide. They are hardworking, but also have a pleasant, creative side that those close to him understand. That's not overly negative. I don't think so. I don't think that's negative at all. That is unfortunately how it goes. I was like, I have one deck. I have my original deck, you know? That's all I need. I don't need any other decks. But then you start looking, and things start grabbing your eyes. And next thing you know, you have like 20 decks. It's a trap we all fall into. I still always go back to this deck, though. This imagery. All right. Are we brave? No, we're not brave. I have 3 different grays. I don't remember which one I was starting with. I think this was gonna be... Because I'm trying to make this black and white. This lion black and white. I'm so afraid to put color into it, though. What color is a lion's eyes? You know, let's do that. Let's get the eyes in there. Maybe I'll feel a little bit better. I want a yellow that's like not too bright. I think that's it. That way we know where the eyes are and we can color around the eyes. Okay. Whew. That was rough. Just kidding. So I think what I want to do is just kind of follow along the lines here. And he has some kind of crazy hair here. Try to leave some white spots. Of course, his little chinny chin. All right. And then he's going to be... I feel like I need another lighter gray color. Maybe we'll do that. Heck. Hello, Lady Athena. I have been tricked before. Thinking I was buying a tarot deck and it was an oracle deck, which was okay. I still liked it. I just like wasn't exactly what I had expected it was going to be. What have I been using to outline this? I don't remember. Maybe that one. I kind of think I want to put in some lines first, and maybe that will help. With my fear of since this is actually black, yeah. Okay. Yeah, now I can see it more defined. I have seen people use 2 tarot decks. Yes. I have seen people that just like throw a bunch of cards in a pile and have had like 6 different cards from 6 different decks. I often see also Lenormand readers use multiple decks, mainly because, you know, most decks only have the one male, one female aspect. So sometimes you can integrate other cards in there, depending on what your subject matter is. And then I kind of wanted him, like, sitting on this foot. And then our little lion tail. I thought it would seem really fun too myself. But it's also kind of a pain in the butt to keep up with. It's a lot of cards, it's a little daunting. Alright. Do I go ahead and go in with the facial features? Does it look like a lion? I don't know. All right, so my idea was to kind of make this half black. He had a big old paw, I just realized. This paw is humongous. All right. I forgot his little doodad here. All right, our half black, half white lion. Does that make sense? Happy time zone. Hello, hello. This is actually going to be the chariot card. My idea was the sphinxes in the card, even though these aren't very sphinx-like. But I wanted to go with that black and white theme. Thank you. That's very kind of you. And then we're gonna have these wings in here, I think. Still kind of thinking about them wings. I'm gonna do the castles. You know what? I want a little bit of a little black dipstick tail there. Okay. I wonder if I should just do like a little light touch of pink on the nose. And maybe in the ears too. Maybe we should go. What did I do with my green color? What did I do? Okay, let me think about this castle in the background. I don't know if I want to do like a big old wall which I guess is fine. That makes it look castle-y, I guess. And this weird shape. All right. Which gray did I decide for it, though? That gray or... Oh, that gray doesn't work. Okay, so it's this gray. There we go. That kind of looks like the same castle. Now we just gotta make it match the other side. Hi, Tyson, baby. What you want? Tyson, come sit in this chair. Don't distract your mama. Alright, I want to do this big tall one here. Yeah, Tyson. Your little meows are pathetics. And then we'll add this little roof. And then we'll just do another little small one right here. Come on. Baby boy. Little Tyson the kitty cat over here meowing at me. It's like, oh yeah, there's like a little antenna. There we go. All right. Our strength castle is complete. Not strength. I'm gonna keep calling it strength. That's the thing, is I just wanted it to kind of like go along with that black and white sphinx there. I need to figure out my green color. I think I'm still gonna do the river. So, no trees. Heck the trees. And then we'll kind of have the grass come back over here. All right. Aha! Heck. Oh, heck and heck. I keep opening that one. This is a very bright blue. That's all right. I just realized that she does kind of like leave a little bit of white space. I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just from the print on this card. Yeah, you can ask a question. That is perfectly fine. You don't actually have a cue. I didn't even think to open it. But yeah, you can ask a question. So the thing about the Sphinx is, or the Chariot is, the thought of this two-headed lion was that, like, you're never going to make any moves. You're not going to move forward unless, like, both pieces of these lions, the good, the bad, everything comes together and moves. Or else you're just going to stay stuck, right? One going this way, one going that way, right? That's kind of like the idea behind this. Now, what green did I do? I don't think I did that green. Maybe I did. Tyson, did you take one of my markers? This is more the color, but this feels like it's running out of ink. Let me see. No, actually that looks horrible. I might go with this one then. It's too yellow. And this one's a little bit darker, more saturated than I'd like, but oh well. It dries lighter anyways. So we'll probably be fine. We're just probably being a little bit too nitpicky. I don't have the perfect colors. All right. I gotta save room for, we gotta name him still. Are demons going to get you? Demons are not going to get you. Let me tell you that right now, okay? One, if you're really worried about that, you can look at ways of protecting yourself. But the way I see it is like energy only comes in, right, when you give permission for it to come in. So just because you buy a deck doesn't mean that some demon's going to attack you. Like, you have to invite that demon into your space, right? That's my idea. Let me see what this occult deck is. Did it have a name? Did you say? Just the occult tarot deck. Like, I like me some dark decks, like, stylistically. I like this. Is this the one? I love the combination, the color combination of red, black, and white. I love it. Love it. But, you know, the way that I see it, you know, there is like dark energy, there is light energy. I wouldn't name something specifically a demon. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. But let's get to your question. It's by Travis McHenry. Yeah, that one. Okay. But I don't think necessarily because you buy a specific deck, you're more likely to invite a demonic spirit into your place, right? I don't think the deck itself has anything to do with that. If you buy the occult deck, are demons going to get you? Ooh. Okay. So the big answer I will say is no, they're not going to get you. Again, this may actually be good as in like learning something about your own abilities, your own control by getting this deck. So it may actually help you if you're worried about demons. Like, this may give you a little bit more security. Now, don't worry about the third one because I don't like the Magician upright myself. But what do I want to say with him here? It does seem like just knowing the need to know more about these demons, this ability, this connection. Again, I feel like this is a lot more wholesome than it is negative, and that the negativity you're putting on it is kind of like of your own mind here. You are more in control than you realize, is what I would say. You don't see the power that you have, but you are more in control of the situation than you realize. And that is what that magician is, not knowing your abilities, not knowing your strengths. But here we have the lovers, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles knows her strengths. So again, this is about learning. This is about understanding and actually, you know, feeling better about your abilities. This is a wholesome message. Me and the lovers, we've gone through our ups and downs to where, like, every time I see the lovers, I want to go, ugh, that's a horrible card. That means something bad. But as I have been changing my meanings of the cards and understanding, the lovers is positive. It's a good message. It's about love. It's about feeling whole within yourself. It's about finding that missing piece. It's not deceptive. If it was reverse, then I would say absolutely. You see this in reverse? Yeah, that's going to be that person trying to weasel in and hurt you. That's going to be that negative influence. That's going to be every negative aspect of love. But when it's upright, it's positive, it's good. But you got to trust it. Again, the Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, she's good. She's security. You are safe. And then again, that Magician, when I read it, just knowing your abilities. And if you don't feel good in your abilities, then build it up. All you can do is continuously learn about the influences, learn about the demons that you're dealing with, learn about the decks themselves. As you build up your skill, you won't have to worry. And look at one other thing in these cards. Do you see yellow? Yellow, 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 yellow across the board. That's positive. That's happiness. That's optimism. That's goodness. That's excitement. That's good energy. Yellow, yellow, yellow. And our Chariot card's going to be a yellow background too. There is meaning in color. Again, demons only affect you when you let them in, when you give them that permission. I'm of the mind of there ain't no demon gonna mess with me. I don't need no protection. I don't need no cleansing. I'm gonna beat that demon down. Like, I don't let anything into my field like that. So as long as you are strong mentally, if you are strong emotionally, if you are strong in every unseen aspect, ain't nobody gonna fudge with you, right? Dang. I need a name for these still. I keep forgetting. That's what I'm hung up on. Finding a name for these little guys. These big guys. And now I remember why you need to put the colors down before you do this pen, because apparently this pen is smudging. And I don't think it's so much the pen. The pen's not supposed to smudge. I think it's the cardstock that is causing the smudging. Alright, so we're getting to the point where we need to make a decision about these wings. Are we adding wings to this guy? The wings are important for the chariot, I feel like. And I need something like in the sky. So I do kind of want to do the wings. Well, there we go. We're doing them. I have been taking a deep dive into the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. And let me actually pull it up here. Ooh, it says no internet connection. Okay. So, the pictorial guide to the tarot by Waite. If you've never read it, I definitely think that you should. A lot of people don't like it, especially because a lot of the meanings are a lot different. Well, not a lot, but there are some meanings that are very different to like how most people will read tarot. But I'm more for the realistic view of things, and honestly, Waite had a very like realistic kind of view of tarot, more than I had any expectations that he did, because I thought this was a very spiritual person in my mind. I thought he was spiritual and like he was going to be talking about all kinds of deep connections with the universe and stuff like that, but no, he actually is very level-headed. So let me pull this up. In the pictorial guide to tarot, what were we saying? The Lovers. The Pictorial Guide to Tarot by Waite. The Lovers is attraction, love, beauty, trials overcome. The Lovers upright is positive. It is love, it is beauty, it is overcoming all the negatives that come with, you know, whatever you're going through. It doesn't have to necessarily be with love, but overcoming all those difficulties and challenges and finding that love, that beauty in love, in life, in relationships. The Lovers is positive. It was originally intended in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot to be a positive meaning. But when we start picking apart the imagery of the Lover's card, yes, there is a darker meaning with the Adam and the Eve and the trees and the snake. It's all the bad things that are coming with love, but the point is that we are overcoming those trials to find that love. The angels are powerful, and they're not scary. The big angels in the tarot cards are actually all they are all connected with a specific angel. I don't know anything about religion, honestly. I've never been taught. So I can't tell you which angel is which or what that angel means specifically, but let me get to my own research of the Lover's Angel. Justice. What are we at? Hermit, Strength, the Chariot, the Lovers. So angels overall, you can think of as bringing love, bringing healing, bringing unity. Angels are supposed to be positive influences. And I thought I wrote what that specific angel was, but I might not have. The angel is the healer and shows the differences, that our differences can be reconciled. We can change. We can overcome the temptation of the serpent and the apple, and gain wisdom and rebirth from it. So this is very much about growth, understanding of good and evil, and building or rebuilding relationships is what I put here. The angel is positive. They provide safety, peace, healing. It might be Michael. There's a book that I read that really goes into depth about each of the symbols, and will tell you which angel is which. I'm never gonna remember that. But yeah. If you are concerned of demons, you definitely shouldn't be intimidated by angels. Right? In my mind. Did you grow up like with religion? Like, did you have an upbringing that incorporated a lot of religion and a lot of those kind of big theatrics, I would call them? I wouldn't say necessarily that they don't have the best interest. I would say that overall they're a neutral figure, that they're not there to cause harm, but they're also like not there to provide favor for someone, right? So I see them more neutral than anything. But I wouldn't like be concerned about them. I wouldn't think that they're going to like come in and harm you in any way. Like they are more standoffish, hands off. More hands off. There we go. I read this interesting book, and I can't think of what the title is, but basically came with the idea that everything that we perceive as higher beings, that we perceive as gods or angels or demons, all of them are just like, you could label them magicians, as workers of magic. Not necessarily that they are any different than somebody who learns magic, right? They may have more skill, but they aren't like some invincible being that's going to bring you harm, right? I don't know. To me, it's like not a concern. It's not a concern. I'm more concerned about karma, and if you do bad, you're gonna get bad back. You're gonna get taken down. Again, not I'm not a big believer of demons themselves, other like more like negative energy, and definitely like you can get some kind of negative energy attachment, which would be possession. But the problem with possession is that people could use that as an excuse. I think like you would actually have to have somebody that could come and confirm that this is a possession, not just like, oh, my aunt is acting crazy and she's possessed. Like, I'm not going to take that from just anybody and believe that. Yeah, that's Tyson. Tyson the bison. But possession's kind of difficult because I mean, mental health issues are a real thing, and we're kind of towing a line here. Are they actually like mentally unwell, or is it a possession? I would hate to dismiss someone as being possessed and like not actually look into what is the problem. Right. Now, there are some things connected to possessions that are kind of unexplained, but also like you're getting a secondhand account. So do you can't always know that thing that they mentioned was legit. Like this person's possessed, and all of a sudden the wall started shaking, and all the pictures fell off the wall, and they were floating 10 feet above the bed. Okay, like that. If I saw that, that's 100% a possession to me. But again, did that really happen? Or are we trying to play it up and like get attention and ignore the actual mental health crisis that is going on? Well, the pictures that we get from movies were based off of accounts that supposedly actually happened to someone somewhere. Read some stories of possessions that were supposedly real accounts, and they're gonna be just as insane as they sound or seem in the movie, right? But again, there's no way for us to know. Well, we could probably assume that they were lying about it, but that would be Like, the only thing that would actually make me believe in possession is if I firsthand witness something like that. Other than that, then yeah, the first thing I'm gonna think is this person's mentally ill, and we're kind of just creating excuses for it. I'm always gonna come with a more rational expectation, you know? And that's a good way to look at everything. But see, you know, if you believe that they're just mentally ill, then why are you scared of demons possessing you? Don't be. You seen those people that like speak in tongues? That stuff I never really believed. I mean, is that any different from like a positive shamanic possession that, you know, someone speaking in tongues? I don't know. It's kind of hard to draw the line. And my brain's going to go with, okay, that's all BS, you know? But I'm not one to like discount someone's own personal experience, right? If that's what you believed happened and it caused something positive in you, then good. But like if it's causing you fear and worry and concern, well then I'm going to say it's bullshit. Don't buy into that, right? There's no answer that's going to, I mean, we're not going to find proof or understanding of things that we cannot understand. But don't let it scare you. Mm. I think we're pretty much done with this card. I don't know what to call it still, though. What do you call a lion with wings? Red Bull gives you wings. Alright. Let's do a reading while we think on this. Hello, if your readings are open. If not, ignore this. Can I have one, please? CM, ask what energies are coming into my life for the rest of 2025? What energies are coming into my life for the rest of 2025? Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Now, what do we think of the Five of Wands? You know? Especially if I saw something like an Eight of Wands in reverse and a Five of Wands upright. I'm gonna sit here and say, like, there is some big old argument happening. But the Five of Wands can be seen positively. The Five of Wands can be seen as useful competitions that's going to help put you forward. Now, in the Waits Tarot, the Two of Wands is a very neutral card, and basically the idea is, like, no matter how great things look out there, like, there are still other things that you still have to take care of that, you know, are they're not so good. It's like a king who's watching over his kingdom, and well, yes, he has the whole world in his hands. He also has a great deal of responsibility. So basically what? Like, with great power comes great responsibility. That is the Two of Wands. That is the Two of Wands. So, they have a lot ahead of them, to me, for 2025. A lot of things that they still need to take care of, but also, like, a lot of doors that can open up to them, right? It's going to be very stressful, but also exciting. And when we have that Nine of Cups, that one, that's a neutral card, but to me it's also like a very positive card, because it's not like, when the Nine of Cups is upright, it's very happy, satisfying, content, like we are at an advantage, we have success, we have all these things, like it's good energy. When we have it in reverse, it's more like the truth of things. Like, things aren't perfect, but we can still be happy. And so, again, while we have all this lying ahead of us and all this that we need to take care of and all this responsibility, we can still be happy. We understand that life isn't perfect and that there are still, you know, maybe conflicts that we need to overcome. But it's good things. Even the bad things are good. Even the bad things are going to lead us to push ourselves and expand our world and expand ourselves. So this is, to me, like energy to just like keep inviting everything your way. Keep trying new things, keep jumping on opportunities. Whatever 2025, the rest of it has to offer, just be like, yes, 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 let's do it. I think that's good. Welcome in, Moonflower Child. Should I talk to S? Is better? Should I message S? Should I talk to S? Oh, you're saying that. Okay. Should you talk to S? Should Moonflower Child. No, Moonflower Orchard. Moonflower Orchard. That sounds beautiful. Talk to S. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You got the Tyson card. Tyson chewed a hole in this one. My first instinct is probably not, okay? I'm saying, like, all these cards are reversed. No, we have the Nine of Swords, which is kind of a card where we are, you know, doubting our connection, our interaction. Like, this is giving us a lot more trouble than it honestly is worth. The Three of Cups, you know, we're thinking on this situation too much, or we expect too much of it. Yeah, Three of Cups in any kind of connection is not very positive. I'll try to sum it up at the end. I don't remember what I just said. Uh, it's kind of how it goes. I just speak. And then the Page of Wands, indecision. It's not very clear. To me, it seems like you don't think that you should. Like, this is causing you, again, it's causing you more stress than it is worth. And maybe this, it would just be better to let it go, right? Four of Cups. That's the card where we're just like, you know, we're going to hold it to ourselves. We're going to keep it in. We're not going to engage with this person. To me, it says no. You shouldn't message S, and honestly, you shouldn't be too worried about further communication with them. I would say yes. I would say that there is not significant interest in here. And if you are already doubting the connection in any way, then leave it. Leave it. You think you came off too strong. That's the Nine of Swords here. You doubt your own interaction with this person. But I don't know. To me, it seems like maybe they weren't really that interested in the first place. So the fact that you did come off a little strong, or you may have said too much, you know, that's not really the problem. I think they just don't really, they're not that concerned about this connection. If you had come off less strong, things wouldn't have been any different. Also, I was told today that my readings are too negative. So I apologize if that's the case. I wish I had like a slightly darker black, but I don't think that would like matter that much. Maybe I should add little pads under here. I think that's what I'm missing. Alright, I don't know what to name him. I really don't. Well, as a wise person once told me, honesty doesn't make friends, lies do. So if I want to have friends, then I should lie more and give them their positive readings, right? But, you know, I'm not going to read 3 reverse cards as something extremely positive to make someone feel good about a situation that might not be so good, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning things myself. Alright, I really don't know what to name him. Should we just start thinking about our next card? Even though I already know what it is. It's interesting. I don't know where the decision came to name the strength card Strength, because Weight often referred to it as Fortitude. And I feel like that is kind of better. Fortitude. Strength to me makes you think of physical power, whereas Fortitude makes me really think of emotional strength. Oh, the Roaring Path. What was I? Oh, Rhinoceros. Let's find a cute picture of a rhinoceros. That is a cute picture of a rhinoceros. He is adorable. Oh my gosh, should I do a baby rhino instead of an adult rhino? It may not be translate as well. My thought is to have like a rhinoceros. He looking kind of like a triceratops. My thought is to have a rhinoceros with a little butterfly on his horn. It kind of makes me something kind of like that. See ya, RS. Thanks so much for coming in and taking some time with me. Hello, DFX. This is our Chariot card. Trying to decide on a name for it. I kind of want to say the fortuitous, how do you spell fortuitous? Apologize for my stupidity. Fortuitous. It's with an I. Fortuitous. I don't know if that really, I come because of fortitude, but that doesn't really have anything to do with fortuitousness. Get back to the rhinos. That makes me think more of luck. So I feel like that's a bad name. Maybe I should just make him a butterfly. Now this is making me think of, y'all are probably way too young for this, but it was a children's animated show where you had combinations of animals, and there was one that was like a bee and a hippo or something. Or no, there was a bee lion. Bumbalion, yeah. The Wuzzles, that's what it was called, the Wuzzles. I just want to make sure I'm not making a Wuzzles character, because I feel like there was like a hippo or a rhinoceros here. Oh, an elephant and a hippo. So no rhino. The Wuzzles. That's how old I am, guys. That's how old I am. It was actually a little bit before my time, but I remember watching it. Like, recordings of it. Bumbalion, Ellaroo, Butterbear, Rhinoki. Oh, it was a rhino. Hippopotamus. Okay. So we're good with a rhino butterfly. I still kind of like the way that baby's laying. Kind of thinking like a rhino in a field, a butterfly rhino. Is the wings too much? Look at this. Look at this. That pretty bird on that rhino's back. Maybe I should do one of those birds. Right? They normally have birds that clean them. I think that is a good combination there. Here we go. He has a whole bunch of birds on him. Look at all his birds. I think that is strength. That is like, you know, no matter how big and strong you are, like sometimes you realize you need help from something a lot smaller and weaker than you are, right? So I kind of like that idea. But there still needs to be something special about this rhino. Look at him with his bird. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Maybe it shouldn't be about the rhino. It should be about the bird. They're oxpeckers? Because the strength card is actually not about the rhino. It's about the... Not about the rhino. Not about the lion. It's about the woman. Oh, he's got so many. Okay. This is why I don't get anything done. Look at all of his birds. Oh, all of these Oh, rhinos avoid humans with the help of the oxpeckers. That's interesting. There's a little baby. Okay. I'm sorry. Animals make me happy. So, instead of this, having a bird on his horn seems to be more the way to go. So, is this card about the rhino or the bird? So I guess that could be like the way that we frame it, since all the other cards, I make sure to like fit the entirety of the animal in the card. Maybe we have the rhino kind of in the background. Or is his eyeball? His eyeball's like right here. We have the rhino in the background. And then our focus is going to be on the bird itself. But he can't be an oxpecker. It's got to be something different about this bird. Maybe I should get this strength card out for some inspiration. Hello, Z. Yes, sure. What would you like your reading on? There's our strength card. I kind of like the idea of the bird having like all of these little leaves hanging out of its head. Like he collects things. And then we have the infinity symbol, which is important for this card. This almost looks like a dog. I kind of wonder if she didn't actually use a dog as a reference for this lion. My past, present, and future. That's kind of boring, but okay. I don't recommend anything. It's better than a general, I guess. We can always just see what leads us where. Okay, so let's look at Z's past, present, and future. Past. Ooh, that's good. Present. That is getting somewhere. Not perfect. And future. Yes. Yes, queen. Hello. Okay. I like where we're headed to in the future. We got the swords. So it's like lesson learned. Okay. Lesson learned. Now we have the past cards. We got our Five of Pentacles in reverse, which is not, we're coming from a very difficult situation. And we do worry that like how we were moving along in the past was something that was very detrimental to our future. So where we were headed in the past was not really good for us. And I feel like that there is an awareness of yourself, that you understand that the way you were going just couldn't continue the way that it was going. Sometimes we have to go through the past shit in order to get on the right path for the future. So I would say with the past, like, don't hold on to regret here, because it was just like lessons you had to learn. It was difficulties that you just had to go through yourself. And if you do regret something that you've done, you've learned from it, and all you can do now is continue to move forward. So we're putting the past behind us, and I like that. That's awesome news. Now, in our present, there's still a lot of emotional things that we may be holding on to. The King of Cups can be really hard on other people, can be really hard on ourselves. So it is, trying to really see the truth of things, right? We can't sit here and just let our emotions run everything. We need the truth. We need honesty. So that's the only way that's going to help you to continue to move forward. Don't pretend like things don't matter, or that things you experience are not important. All right. We do have the Ten of Pentacles next. And the Ten of Pentacles is very much importance on like our family relationships and the things that give us strength. So whatever in your life provides stability for you, that's what you need to focus on. Remember, don't worry about how you may have treated someone in the past, or maybe the connection you had with your family in the past, or how you may have did things in the past that kind of took away from the stability that you had, because now it's about turning things around, taking a true look and real look about how things have affected you, and creating something stronger for yourself, more stable for yourself, to continue to lead you on into the future. So again, that's part of the learning moment here. And so it's going to be very important for you to build up those bonds that you have in your life. Like, people are going to be important. Money is going to be important. Work is going to be important. You need stability. You need security. And that's what you need to focus on bringing into your life. And then as we're looking to the future is very positive. The future looks like you have things figured out a little bit more. You understand, how to make up for the things that may be missing in your life, or you understand that you don't have everything, or you just have a better understanding of yourself and what you need to work on and what you need in your life. And then that Knight of Swords is just, no matter what hardships we've experienced, or no matter what difficulties come, like, we can overcome anything. Like, this is leading you into a better future. You are going to be a strong individual who's not going to have problems dealing with anything. Even if it's a horrible problem that arises, like, you're going to be able to cut it down with ease. You've gained a lot of knowledge, right? So really work on gaining as much knowledge as you can now, finding a stable place, because you're going to be fine in the future. That's what I got for you, Z. We have really overcome our hardships, created stability, and created momentum for our future self. No, the future, you've got it. The future is good. Don't be concerned about the future. Let me tell you, the better you do right now for yourself, the easier your future is going to be. You know? There ain't nothing to worry about in the future unless you just completely drop the ball. So you can ask those. People ask all kinds of things. So when you do like a past, present, future kind of spread, you know, that's better for um your own kind of internal thinking there. I don't recommend relationship questions, but look, let's go through some of the questions that I've recently been asked. A lot of people ask about their future partners, which I don't think that's the best thing to ask anyways. This person asked why they were dreaming about their pet that had passed on. This person asked some of the key themes, which I think that's interesting. What are the key themes for this next chapter of my life? Generals are common, just like any general message. What my guides have to tell me, what message do my guides have for me? But if you're not connected to your guides, I don't recommend asking that. A lot of people, though, ask me about K-pop idols. How will things be in my love life till the end of July? This person asks if they should join a specific school. What new things do I need to bring into my life? I had a really good one the other day. Let's see. This is simply, am I choosing the right career path? Advice on a job. Next step I should take in my career. There's all kinds of different things. Whew. There was a person in your life who passed away but was one of your homies. So before he passed on, you had a chat with him and he told me that I should stop trapping myself and let myself be free from the shackles of those burdens. I didn't understand, so let's see what that reading says. You should stop trapping yourself and be free from the shackles of those burdens. Well, what did we see in your reading? That there are burdens of the past that you need to let go of. Make amends. And focus on your future. Burdens. All right. So we start with the Nine of Swords. With that Nine of Swords, we have a lot of doubt, a lot of shame, a lot of fears that are attached to us, you know, that could be coming about from your past situation. Again, when we hold on to things, when we hold on to our burdens, when we let things overwhelm us, and here you've kind of put yourself in a spot where it's like, it's all my fault. And that's not necessarily the truth of the matter. There are some things in life that, you know, you weren't aware would happen if you did things a certain way. Like, yeah, you may have led yourself to a certain point, but you didn't intentionally try to hurt yourself. You didn't intentionally try to bring about this shitty situation, right? So don't let yourself get, like, don't let yourself be embarrassed by how you may have behaved in the past. Because again, all we can do is learn from it and continue to build our future. So if there are things that you're still holding on to, regrets, doubts, fears, shame, let those go. Let those go. The King of Wands is the most courageous king when it comes to tarot. He is tied to fire energy. He is tied to the lion, courage, right? We see the lion as courageous. And sometimes when you're the lion, you know, you're either the leader of the pack, right? Or you are out being your solo lion self until you find your pride. And you know, either way, everything has kind of come to where you are the sole caretaker. So if you aren't strong, then you are going to fail, right? If you are holding on to the past or holding on to whatever is burdening you, then you can't survive. Now the hermit takes his own kind of journey into better understanding himself, his environment. He has discipline, you would say. So you need to step up and become a stronger version of yourself. You need to learn how to make better judgment, better choices, and be a little bit more disciplined. And then you're going to be stronger. You're going to be feeling more courageous. You're going to be no longer trapping yourself because you are the one that is leading. You are the one in control, right? And then what do we have? The Five of Swords in reverse. That can also be about past behavior or current behavior that can lead to your downfall. So it is about, you know, taking the lessons that you have learned. Are you going to let this be the end? Are you going to continue on your path of growth? Because if you don't continue to grow from this point on, if you don't continue to try to better yourself, then you are just going to end up letting yourself down. And I think that's kind of like the message here. Like, it's not about anyone else's expectations of you. It's not about anyone else's idea of, you know, wrong or right. Don't let other people judge you. This is about how you feel about yourself. And if you feel like you are that person who's ready to step up and change your life and like be more in charge, in control, more disciplined, are you going to let those burdens of the past hold you down? And are you going to let yourself down in the process? It's all on you. Your life, your feelings, your freedom. You got to put yourself in that better place, in that better position. Don't let yourself down. That's what I got. Does any of that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? There's nothing to be ashamed of. And don't be ashamed of your past. Just learn from it and move forward, move on, make something better. This card is interesting here because there's 3 different figures. This figure, he's looking on into the open, into whatever is out there. This person's got his hands in his head in his hands, and he's just like completely distraught, can't pay attention to anything else around him. And this person, he should be happy. He's got the advantage. He's won. He's had these 2 drop his swords, but he's not. All he can do is look on the loss in this situation. All he can do is look on these other parts of himself. So even though he is victorious, it just feels like he has won nothing, that he is still a failure, that he is still at a loss. But that's not the truth. Sure. Hello, hey TC. I need name ideas for my chariot lion. Be nice to Tyson. He didn't do nothing to you. Did you know that the Sphinxes in the Chariot card are named Yu and Tu, inspired by ancient Egyptian mythology and symbolize the dual forces of good and evil or light and darkness. Should I just call them the U2 lion? No, because apparently U2 has a lot of different things that come up. I think that was made up. AI Google, how come you have led me astray? They are not names. You, why? Chaos and order, darkness and light. I can't believe you got me here. Okay. Mat? Ma'at? Like the cat? Like how the cat says ma'at? At. Ma'at? I kind of like that idea. Ma'at. Truth, balance, order, harmony, law, mortality, justice. Alright, we're not getting anywhere with that. It's still daylight. Well, I started this stream last night. Not really. When I went to an abandoned building and unintentionally messed with the black magic stuff, the demon was really mad and I suffered for 2 weeks. So my question, are you free from him or he still lingers around you, as I still sometimes feel I'm never alone? Why are you in abandoned buildings practicing black magic in the first place? We were having this conversation earlier about the idea of angels and demons. And while I don't necessarily believe specifically angels and demons, I do kind of believe in like bad and good energies. Malevolent, I can't even say it. Malevolent spirits. But in my mind, it's about how much control you actually give them, how much energy that you give to them. They can't exist without energy, right? That's my mind. You go hunting sometimes. Okay, but like ghost hunting is not the same as going to an abandoned building and practicing black magic. That is not hunting. That is performing black magic. Lift weights. Okay. So what you're saying is that potentially you mess with a vase filled with sand, which would make me think that this was somebody's ashes potentially. So you messed with somebody's ashes and then you got reprimanded for it, and you think it was black magic. I think you just messed with somebody's ashes and they're upset. I don't want you digging around and sniffing my ashes either. Hello. Probably rat poop. Alright. was Z experiencing a demon that they invited into their life here? And is that demon now gone? Have they moved on? Has this dark energy left Z alone? Cigarette ashes. Oh no, it was pitch black. I have seen ashes. How? Oh, it's not like touch substances that are black and we don't know what they are. Okay. So the question was, is this energy gone? Has it run its course? Has it left your life? To me, this is no. Because one, we have all these cards in reverse. Now I am apparently a negative reader, okay? But the King of Pentacles is like some weakness. And so I feel like this is maybe an energy deficit on your part. You are feeling weak, and when you are feeling weak, that is when you're going to feel like an entity is interfering, right? That is when you're going to feel that presence. You need to build up your own strength. And the Eight of Wands is more referring to like internal disputes, something within yourself. So I don't think this is like an external entity that's fudging with you. I think it's just your own feelings of weakness and your mind playing tricks on you here. It's very internally manifested. And then the Page of Wands, when it's in reverse, it is like us struggling with some kind of decision that we need to make. So it's like some kind of stress that is added upon us and our circumstances, and like we're feeling it all. So I feel like what you were experiencing is more a manifestation of your own negative energy than anything. And that it is not gone. It is still very much present. But, you know, all you have to do is kind of like start making decisions that are more positive. And like, it doesn't even have to be a positive decision. Just be more determined on like what it is that you are taking action on, and take that action, right? I don't know how to explain that better, but if we just sit around and don't make any decisions for ourselves, and we just pity ourselves and we feel weak, then we're just going to be this pool of negative energy, and we're going to feel it. We're going to manifest negativity. So again, internally driven. I don't think that there was necessarily a bad spirit or demon attached to you, but I do think that you have kind of like this air of negative energy around you. And that could attract, you know, depending on what you believe, that could attract negative spirits into your area. They're going to see this pitfall and they are going to be like, oh yeah, let me get in on that. So we need you to be a little bit more forceful and a little bit more, I don't want to say determined, that's not really the word that I'm looking for, decisive, a little bit more, I don't want to say intelligent, but yeah, just be more decisive about what you want, and like feel good about the decisions that you make, and let's try to get away from this negative pitfall that we're in. What? Pitch black rat poop. You must touch a white dog turd to lift the curse. I would just get down and pray to Jesus, the goat. Be a warrior, grab the sword and slice its head off. Bang bang. Squat below parallel. Y'all do make the chat interesting. But yeah, this is something that you can remedy yourself. And it's funny because the Page of Wands is also like, well, all the pages come across with like their own little anecdotes, their own little stories, their own little messages. So again, let's put this behind us and be like, okay, that was just like something that happened, but it's not really relevant to the energy that we are drawing and pulling right now. So Don't worry about it being a demon that you pulled back from whatever this is. Worry about creating bigger, better energy to combat it. And that's what I was saying earlier, too. I was like, like, I'm not worried about, like, protection and cleansing and stuff like that. I'm not worried about that because I feel like, you know, my energy is already big enough to, like, keep whatever spirit we may believe in at bay, right? Did I get that? Spirit. Whatever we believe in. It's not for me to decide what we believe in. But have bigger energy. Here's my partner in crime right next to me. Tyson the Bison. Also, I'm trying to come up with an idea for my strength card. And, like, my idea was, like, this rhino with his little bird companion. And, like, the bird is, like, the main focus of the card. So I needed to figure out what the bird is. He's called an oxpecker, but, like, I need something different for this card. My first thought was, like, a butterfly and a rhino, but then I'm like, no, let's go for the oxpecker, because they're brave little guys. Did you know the eagle? Who's the eagle? What's the eagle? Oh yes, I've heard that the eagle breaks its beak so that new things can, like, a new beak can grow. Cuckoo, or should I say meow? Shouldn't it be pecking an ox? Well, the name of the bird is oxpecker. This is Pigeon. She is a cat. You know, I was like, I'll keep the Tumblr questions open. Like, I normally open them for a short amount of time and then close them back up once I get, like, 10 questions or something. But this time I was like, I'll just leave them open. Why is every single question, what does so-and-so think about me? Every single question. Hello again, DFX. You're back, but not in black, but with rats. These are my guinea pigs. That is Dougie on top and Butters on bottom, also known as Professor Chaos and, dang it, I forgot his name. Professor Chaos and... General disarray. There we go. Professor Chaos and General disarray. Their bellies are full, so they are quiet. Also, I think I decided the next tattoo I'm gonna get, it's gonna be the Chariot card, but I'm gonna have it, instead of the Sphinxes, I'm gonna have Butters and Dougie driving it. Alright. General for Hey TC. The Magician. The Death card. The Hierophant. Interesting. You got all major arcana. Do we trust the Magician here? Do we trust the Magician? That's always my question. When it's tied to Death in Reverse and the Hierophant, I don't feel great about the Magician or the Magician's intentions here. It does seem like, you know, we have a lot that we could do, a lot that we could accomplish. Like, we have this great confidence, we have this great skill, but we kind of need to put it on the back burner here. We aren't going to put in our full strength or our full effort because it does seem like there is like some kind of agreement here that we're walking into, and we realize that, you know, we're kind of on the losing end, or like we can't really do much to change the situation, so we just kind of gotta shut up and go along with it. It's not very positive, but it is like, you know, maybe this time just let things go and just let things play out as they should without much interference. You don't want to cause a lot of disrupt in this situation, and you can't really bring any change about it. So you may as well just, you know, bide your time and just let it happen. If you can't beat them, join them. Yeah. Hopelessness is the overall theme with that Death in Reverse. Hope it's not that meddling poop demon. I'll be right back. That meddling poop demon. I forgot. I have groceries coming. I should probably check on that real quick. Alright. So it's not ready yet. Alright. They were supposed to arrive like right now, but we're good here. What question do you suggest? Oh yeah, we do have oracle cards. Did we get all that? Hey TC, I think you understood. Like, you know, just chill. As annoying as it may be. Ooh, duplexus. Is duplexus a word? He could be the duplexus lion. Or the polar lion, but someone might think that wrong. The ambivalent lion. Ow! You son of a bee! I'm sorry. Pigeon just jumped on me and dug her claws right into me. Yeah, get up there. Pigeon. I'm still thinking of a name for our courage. For our, no. Duplexity. The quality of being dual or double. So, I don't know if duplexus is actually a word. I just sort of, you know. Ma'am, what are you doing? I can't see anything because you're in my way. I want my guide for a message, and I would also like to ask about the oracle. All right. Well, we're going to use the trash animals oracle. So that's just going to be like an extra message for you. Fight me, you little biche. Well, I was kind of thinking of continuing with my theme of these animals are like a species of animal. So we'll first Z. A message from Z's guide. Z's guides. Message from Z's guides. Interesting that we have two different fast-moving knights. These are the knights with the most energy, and they've both come out in reverse. That has meaning in itself. So that could be that we are not making the movement that we need to make. We might be feeling kind of stuck. The Knight of Swords is us kind of leading to our own recklessness, our own reckless behavior. Is that spelled with a W or an R? I don't know. And then the Knight of Wands is also like energy that's causing a lot of like division. It's kind of leading us, interrupting us from what it is that we want to go after. So you are creating a lot of blocks for yourself. Now, when we see the Six of Cups, we can see that in two ways when it comes to the Waits Tarot. It's either referring to past memories that we hold on to, and that could be what's bringing back this could be what's interfering with us from moving forward, and we've already spoke to that. And then it's also about creating new and more positive relationships in your life. And that's not just necessarily relationships with other people. It could be how you relate to other things. You know, that's again bringing in positive energy, that bringing in things that provide you with a more positive energy, more positive message. So you need to create new connections within your life in order to kind of push yourself forward and keep from holding yourself back. Now we do have the Justice card, so you are like headed towards a place where you are going to sort of even things out. And again, that has to do with going back to our previous reading about you needing to be maybe a bit more honest about a past situation. That is about finding truth, honesty, and honestly, you know, giving things the energy that they deserve. And if that's you giving yourself the energy that you deserve, okay? Think about healing this inner child or this past child. Think about what they need. Like, if you didn't get the encouragement that you needed when you were a child, then right now you need to fix that by providing yourself with that positive encouragement and that positive motivation to get you moving. All right, so your Oracle card is the Alley. It's about accomplishment and possibilities. Absolutely. Like, you have so many possibilities ahead of you, right? But, like, you are the only thing that will get in your way. So let us actually find this card and read what it says. The Alley, the Alley. So, each street holds infinite possibilities, and it's where you feel whole. Sashaying down an alley and sampling its splendors brings you utter joy. You are not only a part of the alley is a part of you. Relish these moments of completeness and celebrate. So, in what areas of your life do you feel the most accomplished? Well, feel good in those areas. Celebrate, relish that accomplishment. And then in what ways can you manifest more positive possibilities in your life? And that's what we already talked about. You need to bring in more positive influence, more positive energy into your life. So figure out ways in which you can do that. You have so many different roads that you could go down, and you need to kind of take charge of the path that you want for yourself. And is that path going to be one that leads you to something positive, or is it going to lead you back down into a darker alley, a darker path, right? You do have control of which way you go from here. That is what we got for you. These would be so great if they were upright, leading you on. I don't know why I'm the only one that likes the trash animal tarot. I mean, oracle. It's cute. It's cute and trashy. Sashay through life. That is literally what it said. Sashay through life. Oh, this lion is beautiful. Look at that black lion. Melanistic lion. I don't know if that one's real. Good night, Z. Sleep well. Sleep better. Don't let them evil demons come in. I was trying to see like a melanistic lion, but a lot of these images are just ones that someone has manipulated. Here's a white lion. He's cool. Maybe we should go by like by Apple Synergy Lion. I'm never going to figure this out. Well, I've been on here for almost 3 hours, so I think I might wrap it up as well. We've done a lot of talking, a lot of speaking, a lot of drawing, a lot of carding. And I think we need a break. Well, I kind of also wanted to do like this last reading. This last Tumblr reading, why not? What? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll regret this. I would like to ask what will happen in the first date with my future boyfriend. Perhaps the atmosphere, his attitude, his clothes, or his actions, etc. Alright. Alright, sunshine. I guess that's starshine. Alright, starshine. What will your first date be like with your future boyfriend? Ugh. Well, you know. It may not be the nicest first date, okay? It may not be that he has a lot of money or the ability to take you any place super fancy, but he's gonna come with honesty and integrity. Integrity, maybe? Should we say that? I don't know. But, you know, he's gonna give his effort, his best effort, and I think you'll appreciate that best effort. Overall, I'm not sure that the first date will go like swimmingly to plan. There may be some conflicts, some negative aspects. It's not going to be the best first date, but it's going to be a story, and I think that's the important part. Y'all are going to get through it together, and you're going to laugh about it in the future. Look, this is your future boyfriend, so even though things don't go swimmingly on the first date, we can still enjoy the time that we have together, right? And then we have... Whew. I'd like to know if there's any chance at something more with a friend that I have a crush on. Let's call them D. So this anonymous person who gives me nothing to work with. Is there a chance at something more with this friend? D. Ah, okay. We have our friendship. We have our... Ooh. Alright. So I would say no. This probably won't expand beyond the friendship that you have. But that's not, like, necessarily a bad thing. When we have that Six of Wands... it could just be that, like, at this time in our lives, we aren't really that suited into getting into a relationship. And then we have the Five of Wands, which could be something that maybe drives this connection apart. This is more the conflict than the competition. This is where we have arguments or, you know, something that we can't get over. So, well, this does start out as a very nice and supportive, comfortable relationship. I don't really see it moving beyond the point that it is now. Yay! More negative readings to add to the mix. Thank you. Thank you. So if you'd like to come and see more negative readings, make sure you check out the Tumblr blog, alright? You can find me at just about any place that you can think of at the Pigeon Tarot, all one word. If you would like. And hopefully continue with these lovely cards at a future time and date. Thank you so much for checking us out. And I appreciate it. Goodbye, y'all.